It's hate. The left is the party of hate. The Democrats are the party of hate. The progressive wing progresses towards hate. They get more power and they create more hate. They sow more division while accusing you of doing so. Theme today, the left can't stand America. It really does permeate everything. And this comes at a time right now where two polls, CNN, and then I believe we also have NBC.
NBC, yeah.
NBC. Approval for the Democrat Party as a whole is at an all-time low, where at the same time, we see optimism for the country at a 20-year high. That's a good thing for America, bad for the Democrat Party. That's the trend we're going to be addressing today. All-time low. Here you go.
A brand new exclusive CNN poll that paints a brutal reality for Democrats as they struggle to mount a unified opposition to President Trump. Americans' favorable views of the Democratic Party's brand are at a record low, just 29%. That's compared to 36% for Republicans. It is the lowest ever recorded for Democrats in CNN polling, going back more than 30 years. As you can see, the party's numbers dropping a staggering 20 points in just 4 years.
You sound surprised, guy who looks like a mix of Lori Lightfoot and Ralph Macchio. It's... It's Raju Macchio.
Wait till you see your scissor move.
Wait till you see him whack off.
No. Wax.
Yeah, well, I hired him to sand my floor. He sucked. So, another NBC poll shows all-time low approval for Democrats.
Wow.
27% approve, with only 7% strongly approving. I don't even know how you do that. Like, you would think, how do you not get your own party? Only 7% strongly approve. This poll goes all the way back to 1990. Jeez.
NBC, known as a bastion of conservatism.
Yes.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Exactly. You know, they got this poll back from CNN. And by the way, they even skew the polls. And someone got the results and went, you're bullshitting.
We got to make this 3% of 7 somehow.
We got to cover this. Can we say the margin of error is plus or minus the whole poll? Can we just say that? Now, same time. Optimism in the country is at a 20-year high. This comes from Axios. 44% of people say the country is heading in the right direction. That's the highest it's been since 2004.
Wow. Awesome.
Isn't that a great thing?
That's fantastic, but everything you hear on CNN is probably going to be Donald Trump's numbers are tanking. People don't like what he's doing on the economy. It's like, look at your own numbers.
Right. But it tells you do see an inverse correlation between the Democrats, right, what they want, and what Americans want. Yeah. That's what you're seeing is this chasm. It is widening. They are very out of touch. For anyone who says that Donald Trump didn't come in with a mandate, it becomes clearer by the day that he has. Mm-hmm. And you are going to see gas prices probably come down. I don't know how much more they can come down. You're going to see prices stabilize. You're going to see countries playing ball. You're going to see America act unashamed of its country. That's the big cultural shift that we are seeing. We were browbeaten. We felt guilty because the left goes, if you're successful, you must be an oppressor. And if you're an unsuccessful country, you must be oppressed. Turns out Canada just sucks. Now,
who knew?
Everyone. It was the unspoken rule.
It really was.
Because, just don't say it. Had a rough go.
Yeah.
Let's go through. And for people who are new, all the references are available for this show every day. Link in the description so you can peruse them. Please do not take my word for it. Go read the references. Most of them are left-leaning because we want you to know what the left is saying. Here are the top reasons that we're seeing this from the left and why you are seeing this being completely incongruent, the left's agenda with the United States, with our best interests. Reason number one. The left, everyone thought it was just the economy in this election. I don't agree. I think that was a big deal. But the left has reached so far that they are deeply unpopular as it relates to social issues, and they can't help themselves. They're addicted to crazy.
Protecting and supporting access to gender-affirming health care is essential to being a welcoming and supportive state to the community.
I made sure that they
the horse
changed
had a good time.
Policy in the state of California so that every transgender inmate in the prison system would have access to the medical care that they desired and need.
She said that out loud.
Office at the White House.
All of us are living our daily lives trying to simply
That's Bernard from the Santa Claus.
To be who we are, to love who we love, to exist in our schools.
Leah, how did that performance measure up to your expectations coming into this meet tonight?
I didn't have a whole lot of expectations for this meet.
She said meet?
I was just Happy to be here trying to
beat up some Brits.
race and compete as
Beat up
much
some
as I
bitches.
could.
Climate change is having a disproportionate effect on the physical and mental health of black communities.
Safety is the way in which you reopen. Only people who think that our members are not the people who are impacted, like students, like parents, would raise these issues.
And it is important that we train and we understand, and I want to understand white rage, and I'm white, and I want to understand it.
I look at you, I get
rageful. Have a right to ban gender-affirming health care.
I don't think any state or anybody should have the right to do that, as a moral question and as a legal question. I just think it's wrong.
So remember, when they try and distance themselves, like Gavin Newsom saying Latinx, I've never heard of that, and men and women's sports, you go, no, get back here, get back here. Let's put your face right next to Kamala, right next to Walz, right next to Biden. Come on, get in, scooch in for your JCPenney family picture, okay? Don't let them put some distance or daylight between what they did in this country. That includes men and women's sports, that includes the COVID mandates, that includes transing the kids, that includes LGBTQ AIP and pornography in children's schools, that includes the race baiting, that includes the phobia, the ism, everything they could accuse you of being falsely, and they knew it, for the last several decades. Don't let them put some distance between who they are and how they are perceived. They can't stand America. Reason number 2, that the left is very unpopular. It's not just inflation. We're going to talk about this as it relates to the Houthi. We're going to talk about this as it relates to ISIS. The left has weakened America, and there have been presidents who have done that, and it kind of ebbs and flows. But they have championed America, putting ourselves in a weak position. And Americans are tired of it.
Did you come here because Joe Biden was elected president?
Basically.
It was unprovoked, but this is what Russian President Vladimir Putin unleashed on Ukraine.
The latest China-Russia military drills show that hostility is now in the past. It's a military partnership that's strengthening, thanks in part to both countries' worsening relations with the United States.
2 men investigators say are in the country illegally from Venezuela are charged with capital murder in the death of Jocelyn Nungaray.
Now, police arresting 33-year-old Sebastián Zapeta, a migrant from Guatemala who entered the country illegally in 2018. They say he allegedly lit Guam's clothes on fire.
Former Marine is facing a second-degree manslaughter charge in connection to the chokehold death of Neely on an Uptown F train. Now, witnesses say Neely, who was on a special watch list for the city's homeless population, was shouting that he was hungry and didn't care if he died.
Yeah, the greatest country on earth was put in a weak position internationally, and you were put in a weakened position personally. Never-ending supply of funding to Ukraine. Sure, we're not going to call the rest of these NATO nations to actually honor their contract. Yeah, tariffs, 250% on dairy, Canada. We don't care. We allowed ourselves to be taken advantage of in the name of progressivism. And then you had to let them loot, give them room to steal, especially if you were in the Bay Area, up to $999 because of something racism. Yeah, we'll have catch and release and no cash bail in New York. Sure, we'll have a summer of love and let people burn down this entire country. This happened under the left's watch. And even people who voted Democrat are now saying, you know what are we doing here? The Afghanistan pullout, Russia invading Ukraine, crime in our cities that they tried to claim was down. Of course, you believed your lying eyes, your lying ears. Illegals who have no business being here, killing citizens, including Laken Riley and Jocelyn Nungaray. Terrorists attacking our shipping vessels. We'll get to that. And this brings us to key reason number 3 that the left is losing. Remember when they used to say Republicans had no identity, conservatives didn't, they were just the party of no to Barack Obama? I don't necessarily agree with that, and there was a valid reason for people to be saying no, because Barack Obama set the stage for Biden. Everything that you really hate as far as overly powerful, encroaching government to every area of your life, that stage was set by Barack Obama. But the left really doesn't have an identity. Progress for the sake of progress leads nowhere when at a certain point the American people reject said progressivism. And so all they have left to offer is what we now know as Trump derangement syndrome. They're the party of Trump bad.
You're not going to be a dictator, are you? I said, no, other than day one.
Other than day one, which is another way of saying, yep, it's a frightening new flashpoint in a trend that we have monitored for years.
Or it's a
Adolf
joke.
Hitler, Joseph Stalin, Ayatollah Khomeini, and Vladimir Putin.
In fact, Stalin won the distinction twice, just like Trump.
Trump warning while discussing the economy that there would be a, quote, bloodbath if he is not reelected in November.
Trump is mentally incapable of doing the job he was elected to do.
President Trump is a failed leader. He will go down in history as the worst president ever.
We know who he is to the black press. How he
the guy who shows up
berated us, how
on time
his minions have berated us.
Erratic, frightening, disruptive, and dictator were among the words they used to describe their concerns.
Trump likes drama and he likes to win. If he pursues the present course, he will not win. He will lose.
Does that man have teeth?
Putin's stooge.
There's
poodle.
Well, can I say one thing?
Yes. What was your reaction?
Well, my reaction was I was at Costco buying, 10 boxes of Keurig coffee, and my watch started to buzz, and I got so excited I started leaking a little bit.
Ew, at your age? Gross.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me just rephrase that. What she meant to say was, I was buying the least environmentally sustainable and completely unnecessary form of coffee humanly possible, and I pissed my old panties. Okay. But it's Trump's fault.
She went on to say, mange ma blood.
There's 4 French people who were like, that's too bad. Don't say that. This is the show for family. Don't talk like that. So what is it? Donald Trump's a dictator. Donald Trump promised a bloodbath when he was talking about cars and factories going in Mexico. Yeah. Donald Trump is incompetent. Donald Trump is a Russian stooge. Something egg prices. None of this has been consistent. The only through line you are seeing from the left is we hate Donald Trump. As far as policy, what you are seeing is they have consistently weakened the United States position and blamed you for it, the American worker. And when asked if the country was heading in the right direction, one immigrant had this to say.
I don't know. I just got here.
You know what? Hey, it's okay to not know.
That's right. If you don't know, that's the right answer.
That is the right
answer.
Be
honest.
Yeah.
Don't be confidently wrong.
I find myself answering that all the time with my son because he's at the why phase.
Oh, God.
And he goes, why? You're like, because that's, I went to the store and I bought it. Why?
You're like 10 layers deep.
Oh, boy. I have to question supply side economics.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Explain his desire.
You realize you don't think why enough.
Yes.
Why? Because they weren't taking any more kids for adoption.
Why? Well, some of them are racist. Let's just move on from the conversation, okay? That's enough.
You know who's asking why right now? CNN. Why are these poll numbers so low? Democrat favorability hits record low. You know what Donald Trump is doing? He is forcing them to double down because they just showed poll numbers that they said they wanted more people to stop Donald Trump and to double down on their principles. Good. Donald Trump is forcing you to double down on losing issues.
Yeah.
Go for it. Be like the Don Lemons of the world. Ask why and not point the finger at yourself and just point the finger at Donald Trump. See how that goes.
Yeah. No, it's something racism, transphobia, homophobia. Well, homophobia is not really used anymore, I guess.
Really. I'm not really afraid anymore.
Well, I don't think anyone's been afraid.
It is a phobia.
I went through exposure therapy.
You did?
Yeah. You just go to a gay bar and you touch the Richard Simmons tapes.
It's the white privilege shared by all the races.
Yes, exactly.
That's better than immersion therapy.
Yeah. Well, depends. Oh, wait, we're talking about homophobia? No, immersion therapy. Bad. Yeah. Immersion therapy.
Very, very bad.
Yeah.
Very bad.
Here are some reasons, though, for optimism on the flip side. Okay. You see people saying, all right, all-time low approval of the Democrat Party. Why are people optimistic at a 20-year high? All right. Here's the first reason. Again, from the party of no with no solutions. Immigration. Right? We're looking at all-time low border crossings. 56% of Americans approve of President Trump's handling of the borders. Now, I don't think that policy should be dictated by polls. I think policy should be dictated by the constitutional parameters and what is right. It is certainly right for the federal government to protect its citizens from threats, both internal and external.
Yes.
This falls under the purview of government. So this is a happy coincidence where what is right lines up with polls. 66% of Americans support deporting illegals. Remember when we were told that could never happen? All the libertarian experts, what do you think, are just going to round them up and deport them?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Kind of the same way we said you can't stop the crossings. We just, 5,000 a day and then we'll close the border.
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
How about 540 or whatever it was?
Right.
That one day.
This is where we are. Something else, too. The left is surprised that Americans believe, hey, maybe the federal government is wasteful. This brings us to reason number 2. Cutting said waste. 46% of people said that DOGE was a good idea. taxpayers are happy that they ultimately will be able to keep more of their own money. That is a fundamental shift, because I've been around since the Bernie Bros were a thing, and they were always talking about taxing the rich. You could never really pin them down in a number. It was, give me more from them. That has shifted to, okay, you know what? At least let me keep more of my own money. Let me ask you this. If at the end of the day, let's say you taxed the wealthy even more and you redistributed it, versus simply allowing everyone to keep more of their own money. So it's the same money at the end of the day. Which way is less corrosive? Which way is less intrusive? Which way permits people to have more freedom, to be able to manifest their own destiny? That's a fundamental shift in culture. I think that's why people are optimistic, because they see you can't just tax and spend your way into wealth. Reason number 3, and I think this is a big thing. You know, you look, the pendulum kind of swings in the 80s. Everyone was pro-America. Everyone was proud. You know, you kind of had it after 9/11. Everyone came together. And then we started teaching kids that the United States is uniquely responsible for all the evils of the world. I think Americans at a certain point said, you know what, all these other countries can be nationalistic. They can be proud of their nation. What, for crying out loud, we have people who come to this nation from nations that they're supposedly fleeing and prop up their... I don't want to see a Mexican flag in my neighborhood.
Yeah, we let Germans be proud of being German, and
yeah, and that doesn't work out that well.
They did some stuff.
Yeah. If you're a history buff, you got to keep your eye on them.
Yes.
They're untrustworthy. Killed a lot of Jews.
No.
Not sure if you knew that. Actually happened.
President Trump's message is very pro-American, and I think America is ready for it.
For American citizens, January 20th, 2025 is Liberation Day. We've been ripped off for years, and we're not going to be ripped off anymore. No, I'm not going to bend at all. The United States can't subsidize a country for $200 billion a year. We don't need their cars. We don't need their energy. We don't need their lumber. And to be honest with you, Canada only works as a state. It doesn't. We don't need anything they have. The United States of America will be a free, sovereign, and independent nation. We will stand bravely. We will live proudly. We will dream boldly, and nothing will stand in our way, because we are Americans. The future is ours, and our golden age has just begun. People love our country again. It's very simple. They love our country, and they love being in our military again. So it's a great thing. The Panama Canal was built by Americans for Americans, not for others. But others could use it. We didn't give it to China. We gave it to Panama, and we're taking it back. And we are going to renew unlimited promise of the American dream. Every single day we will stand up and we will fight for the country our citizens believe in and for the country our people deserve.
Hear that applause? And by the way, not even close to the applause he received from that infamous picture when he saved a baby bald eagle while wiping his ass with a Canadian flag. That was one look. Look, this is something. You may not agree with his methods, but the spirit of the message.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I didn't see that Photoshop until he went to air. I don't know why he has the copper tone baby butt. But
He does, yes.
I've never seen a baby bald eagle. It's cute.
I had no idea.
Cute.
It is cute. I want one. Can we do that, or are they in danger?
That's it.
They are protected. Only in danger, but they're protected.
All right.
Even the babies?
Yeah, well, I can just protect
Especially the babies, Gerald.
I still don't know how to identify a hawk versus an eagle. I don't know which one's bigger. Can you guys comment below? I don't know.
The one picking at your eyeball is the hawk.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, I wanted to start falconry until I realized that they can attack you in your sleep.
Falcons are dangerous. Yeah.
So the conclusion is, it's hate. The left is the party of hate. The Democrats are the party of hate. The progressive wing progresses towards hate. They get more power and they create more hate. They sow more division while accusing you of doing so. It's projection. The left cannot stand America. It's the same reason that if you go house to house and you see an American flag being waved proudly, you're almost guaranteed that they're conservative. You can see Bill Burr's latest stand-up special, where he was talking about how it bothers him, how aggravated he is at dumb people who fly the flag. Well, the reason why is because a lot of people want to show their patriotism because there are so many Americans who seem to be ashamed of this country. That's not an issue on which we should be divided, so you have to ask yourself why. And once you do, that's what explains these latest poll numbers and approval ratings. The future looks bright for the United States. That's what I would say. That's a good thing. Hey, if you like this video, you can comment below. We always appreciate your feedback. Or click one of these, which will be similar as far as rebuttals, claims, truth. Maybe it changed my mind. Or sometimes we talk about the difference between Men and women, how dogs are different from cats. Airline food, no punchline, just premises, because this is the internet in the 21st damn century.